Saul here. It's April 30th, a Saturday, 2022, and I'm actually walking to my dad's place. I sent him some emails, he never answered, and I happen to be in LA for one night because I have a connecting flight tomorrow to Austin, so I thought it would be perfect to just stop by and see what happens. It does feel a bit surreal after 32 years, finally hitting the guy up and being like, I don't want it to be a confrontation. I simply need to state, something that I'm requesting. So we'll see. If it's anything like last time, I'd be surprised if they even answer the door. And if they do answer the door, if they even tell the truth, like, oh yeah, he's home, because maybe he'll send someone else to answer the door or something. But anyways, this is an interesting moment along the path, the journey. It's a challenging journey to get my Taiwanese citizenship, which is really what this is all about. Because I told my older brother a couple days ago, there's not anything he can do for me. There's not anything that I really want from him. This just happens to be circumstantial that he is my dad, and he's the only person who can get me, this Taiwanese citizenship, since it's by birth, and my mom is not Taiwanese. So, anyways, let's leave it there for now. Leaving this one in the video, record files of the world. But yeah, I guess we'll have an update soon, won't we? Check out the background. We're here in Cerritos, LA. Nice day, sun is going down, weather is okay. All right, guys. Took the black shirt off so that way they can see that I'm not packing anything. Actually feeling a little bit nervous. I was planning not to, but yeah, I don't know, can't help it. So I'm already in the neighborhood. I'm rolling up on the house right now. All right, guys, so that first video you just saw right now was a little vlog from me just before I knocked on my dad's door for the first time. But I want to take it back a little bit because it's been a while since I made a video on this particular subject about, me finding my family and getting my Taiwanese citizenship. So in about July, which is the last time I made a video, I called him and he didn't answer, and then the wife hung up on me. So after that, I didn't have many options. So I basically had to get creative. And the next thing I thought of was that I'm gonna contact people around him so that way I can explain the situation and they can get in contact with my dad, Eugene. So basically, in an indirect, roundabout way via proxy, basically through some other relatives. And the way I thought to do that was to take another DNA test. The first one I did was through 23andMe, but there's another one called Ancestry. These are popular DNA companies in the US that I didn't do. So I ordered that kit. It was very difficult for me to do it because I had to get it shipped to my mom's place in the US. And then from there, she had to ship it to me in Thailand. And basically the postage cost more than the kit. And then I had to do it and send it back again. Just a huge expense, it tripled the expense. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because if I get my results back and there's someone else in there that will just greatly help me and solidify, everything that I've been looking for, working on. Anyway, so I did all that. I waited for the results. They're really slow. These results take like 2 months with Ancestry, something like that. Many weeks. And then I got the results back and there was no one in there. And I felt so let down, so disappointed in that. I was putting so much, hope into that, and I didn't get anything back. So then after that, that was basically another option, not workable. So I tried contacting them directly, it didn't work. I was gonna contact them, through that DNA match or something, it didn't work. And then the next thing I thought of was, I'm just gonna go there. If someone doesn't answer a call or an email, what's the next logical solution? Is to go there. The problem is traveling during COVID is very difficult, and I was living in Thailand, so to get all the way to the US, big, travel undertaking. So I didn't, go to the US for that reason specifically. I was like, I'm going on summer vacation anyway. Let me stop in LA. I have a one-night layover there, and that was my plan, and that's what I did, and that's, the little vlog video that you just saw. So I had a 1-day layover there. I found his address. It's not really hard to find someone's address, at least in the US. You know, you just do a little bit of Googling. And I went over there. But like I wrote in the title of this video, it was actually a little bit, or I should say a lot worse than I expected. Just totally out of left field. Did not see this coming. And you know, the interesting thing is when I got there, you know, they seemed like reticent to answer the door. It took longer than usual for me to even hear anyone say anything, but maybe they were just surprised. I guess, you know, they don't get visitors very often or something. And so when I knocked on the door, I had to say something, you know, just to see if anyone was there, because I felt like someone was behind the door, but they weren't saying anything. It's like, you know, when someone calls you and they're just waiting for you, even though you've already, you know, called them. So what I did, I said, hello. And then they asked me, you know, that person, like, who is it? And I said, oh, I'm looking for Eugene, my dad's name. And they said, who are you? And I just said, oh, I'm an old friend. I didn't want to blow his cover. You know, I'm saying I'm an old friend. And then finally this person came out and answered the door. And I allude to it more in this second little vlog that I'll attach to the end of this video. But basically she was like, oh no, he's not here. Sorry about that. And it seemed like she was just gonna, you know, go right back inside. Like she answered the question, that was it. But I didn't want to let it go that easy, because I traveled here literally from the other side of the planet, spent loads of money to get here. You guys know how expensive plane tickets are round trip on the other side of the world. And I said, it's kind of important. Is he normally not here? And she was like, yeah, no, he's not normally here. It was a lady, an Asian lady. And then I said, oh, okay, well, I'm trying to get in touch with him. Actually we're related. So, you know, I was dropping some more information on her to just let her know, okay, I'm not an old friend. I'm not a stranger either. You know, I do have a good reason to contact him. And then she looked at me, I guess, with some curiosity. She was like, oh, really, you're related? How so? Anyways, that's just what she was thinking. Maybe she said in slightly different words. And then I basically just had to break it to her. I was like, okay, he's my dad. And then she had a look of surprise, definitely. I mean, so would you, right? If someone comes up claiming to be, you know, the son, the mysterious son of some, you know, person that you know, person that lives in the same house as you. And she said, oh, I guess she didn't really know how to break it to me either, but she just told me, actually, he's not normally here anymore, and the reason for that is because he passed away. And when she said that, I had to pause for a moment, and she apologized just shortly after that, because she knows it's just such a, not awkward, but unfortunate way to find out about, you know, one of your parents passing away. And she just said, hey, you know, I'm sorry that you had to find out about it like this. And I was like, hey, yeah, me too. But thanks for telling me. So at that time, and I'm just, you know, I'm walking through it, it's hitting me again. I was just trying to process it, and I was like, wow, okay, so he's not here anymore. I guess there's no way for me to see him. And yeah, there's no way for me to see him in the future, and I never saw him in the past, so that was it. As far as, you know, perhaps actually seeing this guy in person, that window had basically closed forever. So that was a little bit sad. And then you know, we I guess chatted. I can't even remember you know, the entire conversation in all its specifics, but she did say, you know, let me get your phone number, so that way, I guess, you know, someone else can reach out to you or something. She didn't really specify why. And she did mention, she said, oh, I think they know about you. They, as in, you know, the rest of the immediate family. Basically, I have, you know, those 3 other siblings, and then I guess the wife who was pretending not to know about me, perhaps. But and I thought that was so curious. And I said, oh, really? How? She said, oh, I don't know. I don't blame her. I think she probably did know, but it's not her place to say. So that was it. And then I basically left. I said thank you for hearing me out and stuff. But that's what happened. So my third attempt at doing this, showing up to the guy's house on his doorstep, literally knocking on his door, find out that's not an option either because he has passed away. So bless him. I don't know what to say about a guy who's dead, who died, and who's my dad. It's just a weird basket, a weird boat to be in. So after that, next day I flew out to Texas. A couple days later, I get a call from the executor of his estate. She tells me I'm, in his will, in this trust that he wrote, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting." And she was like, "Yeah, let me send it over to you." So she sent me an email. So I'll say for a brief period in time, for like a day, maybe even less, I felt happy for him, because from what I gathered, he had made the point to let his family, to let my siblings know about me, know about my existence. And I thought, man, he held this secret so hard for his entire life, but somehow at the end he found a way, I guess, to let it out and to let it be known. And I thought, I'm not happy, but I'm happy for him that he was able to do that. I don't know if it happened on his deathbed, or how basically he disseminated that information. But I just thought, it'd be nice to, if you had a lifelong secret, to be able to get it off your chest, to finally, come clean and be, just be perfectly honest and be perfectly yourself, with the ones you love, with your family, at least, at the last moments or times of your life. But that was short-lived, because shortly after that, I received the email, which basically were the documents, his will and his trust, and in them is where he mentioned me, and so that's where they found out about me. But now I thought perhaps, in a will, like your last will, maybe, they vary a lot. Some of them are just cut and dry, very technical. Other ones, they're like prose, people are writing, thoughts, feelings, perhaps some opinions and things like that. And I thought maybe he's just, in there saying, I wasn't holding out, but I was thinking, he'll say, oh, and I apologize to, my kids. I had another son, a brother, a sibling that I kept from you guys, and that I just want to come forward and be honest about, something like that, some sort of, redemption, just expressing and writing something to that effect. But that's not at all what it turned out to be. So in this, the will and the trust that he wrote, it was the very cut and dry version. And the only part that mentioned me was basically this thing called a disinheritance clause. And that is basically where you just name someone specifically and you say, no matter what, I don't want this person to get anything of mine, anything of my estate. And so yeah, I went from, feeling happy for the guy for a moment, thinking, he finally was able to come clean in the last moments of his life, to, wow, the only reason he mentioned me in his will and in his trust is just to nail it down. Basically, I just felt like it's a little bit graphic, but and colloquially in the US we just say, someone just came and they took a dump on you. They just shat all over you, or something like that. Graphic, I know, but that's what I felt like. This guy just came, took a huge dump on me, and that was it. That was the only thing that I had left, from whatever signals he sent out, whatever impressions he wanted to leave even after he passed away. So even after, you know, a lifetime of absenteeism, not living up to his responsibilities, you know, basically lying, deceiving, holding out to all his kids and family, that he has another son. It's just, to top it all off, on the cherry on the cake of just wrongdoing and negativity, he was like, let me throw in a disinheritance clause, because on top of everything I have not done for this guy, I want to make sure that he has zero chance of trying to claim, you know, whatever is mine. And you know, I don't know, I just, in my mind, I just thought, wow, at this point, you know, even if I had the chance to, accepting or taking anything from the guy, I thought in my mind that's worse than blood money, because just someone who has wronged you so in such a profound way, and you know that there's basically nothing that can be done about it because now he's dead. You know, it's permanent. There's no fixing. There's no redeeming. There's no going back. I just thought, wow, he's outdone himself. That is impressive, you know, in a bad way. So yeah, I had to process that. I had to come to terms with that. And in the will, he clearly outlined all of his kids, you know, and he wrote the names of my siblings, and I guess like a cousin that I have. He named his wife. So the other, man, I'm telling you, this is bad news stacked on top of bad news. Like, it's not an Oreo with good stuff in the middle. It's all bad. A sandwich, you know, I'm sandwiched all three parts, the good, the top, middle, and bottom, all bad. But anyway, so the siblings, he listed them there. I thought, oh, this is just great information. Now, you know, okay, my dad has passed away. Maybe he's not the most, you know, morally conscious or, you know, righteous, or just not the kind of guy who does the right thing. But that doesn't have to mean that his family is the same way. Yeah, I already know his wife is not the best person, but I thought, if someone told you, hey, you have a new brother or a new sister, like for me, I would have thought that would be great news for everyone. I don't know who would, upon hearing that news, think, oh man, that's I don't know about this, that's bad news. I don't want a new brother or something. I just automatically thought it would be great news, and I thought, oh, now, you know, he's out of the picture. I guess, you know, he was the one hiding everything. I can get in touch with my siblings. I have 2 older sisters, which is interesting because I don't, you know, currently I just have only brothers, you know, before that, and an older brother. So, you know, I was a bit eager and a bit zealous, you know, excited really to get in touch with them, and I sent them, you know, requests on Instagram and Facebook, and I sent them some messages, and I was, you know, stuff to just read. I was like, hey, you know, my name's Saul. I wanted to reach out, you know, because I guess we might be related or something. And now it's been weeks. It's been many weeks, and haven't heard anything back from any of them. Haven't heard anything back from any of them, or not even an acceptance of the friend requests that I sent to each and every one of them. So I thought, yikes, bro, this is worse than I thought. Before going to his place to knock on his door, normally I'm thinking best case scenario, worst case scenario. This is worse than the worst case scenario that I would have thought or envisioned. My dad is dead. My siblings, they know about me now, and for some reason they're still blocking. They're still, I guess, basically in a material sense, it's still like they never knew about me. It's still like I never knew about them, because no contact has been made. They haven't replied to anything, and I was like, you know what? In some crazy way, I guess. In this respect, I am actually an optimist, but in this respect, I'm like, you know what? It's just par for the course at this point. So I'll probably have to change the way I word these videos, because I know in one of the first ones I wrote, in search of a lost family. At this point, I don't know if there's much left to search for. Yeah, so now it's probably just, you know, about obtaining the citizenship, and that's it. As far as them not, you know, replying to a newfound brother or something, I don't know what the motivations are. The only one I can think of really is that, you know, their dads, my dads, our dads, it feels weird even saying that, our dad's estate is in probate. So basically it's just going through some legal process, and, you know, they will, you know, I guess give the whatever he had to his heirs, which is basically standard. And maybe they're worried that I might do something to contest that or to make a claim to it, is the only thing I can think of. So then that would be why maybe they're just, you know, not making contact, you know, blackout communications and stuff. But even then, I don't know what the reason behind it is. I would like to think it's just something that I don't know, and it's not as bad as it seems. But, you know, you have to accept the truth sometimes, or at least the apparent truth and reality, basically. Even when it's bad, when it's good and when it's bad. Some people not good at accepting it when it's bad, right? But you know, we like to stay real here. So basically, after all this, that is the major update, and now I will have to basically use the least optimal method of, you know, continuing this path to get my Taiwanese citizenship. So all these options basically dried up. Didn't work out trying to contact him directly or indirectly or showing up at his place. So now basically I have to get it done through the courts, or through an adjudication, which is, you know, the worst option for all parties involved, because you just don't want to go through the legal process here in the US. But that is what I must do. I basically, the next step is I just need the courts, you know, the government to say, you know, that my dad is my dad, which is weird, right? But it needs to be official, ordered through the courts to make it official, and then from there, you know, I can use that to add his name to my birth certificate. And then from there, once I have the birth certificate, then I can apply for the Taiwanese citizenship finally. So those are the next steps. That's the update. This is not the best update. I know that, but really, I'm just putting it out there because this is, like I said, this is how it is. And hopefully, you know, this can maybe help someone, and just be something that I don't know, we look back on later and think, oh, it was just a big misunderstanding or something. I don't know, but we'll see. So that's the update for now, guys. You guys know, even through this, you know, really unfortunate, crappy time, I'm still marching on. I'm still staying steady and moving forward. So let's leave it there, guys. I'll go ahead and attach the video, the little vlog of me right after I left my dad's house upon hearing that he died. It's funny because I didn't think, you know, normally if someone tells you about a stranger who passed away, you know, like I'll do it right, you know, someone told you that right now, you'd be like, okay, well, no big deal. And that's what my dad was, a stranger. But even then, after hearing that he died, something about me did feel sad, because regardless of the relationship that you have with your parents, there are only two people in this world who basically are a living, you know, memoir, a living record, a DNA expression of who you are, and vice versa. So when one of those two people dies, it just feels like part of your imprint on the universe has moved on, has been greatly reduced. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised that I felt the way I did upon hearing about his death, but I'll leave it there, guys, and we'll put the next video in. Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. Let's talk soon. Okay. Guys, just got hit with a bit of a curveball. I'm feeling it. I can probably hear it in my voice just a bit unexpected, but someone did answer the door, which was good. I got to make contact and leave my phone number and stuff. But basically what this person said was that my dad, Eugene, has actually passed away. He died recently in October, so I guess 6 months ago, half a year ago. And the person I spoke with was my sister-in-law, and she said her husband, my brother, was in the shower when she answered the door. So that was an unusual feeling. I didn't want to make the request to see him right then and there, because I was just totally, springing it on him, just coming here unexpectedly like that. But one other interest, anyway, so my sibling was in the house, but I didn't actually see him. And then she said that they somehow kind of found out, and that they actually know about me, or they've recently, discovered that I exist. I'm not sure how long ago though, because this was October that he passed away, and she said they found out, I guess around the time he died, or somehow connected to his death. So that's actually the most scary thing, which I just processed, is that they know about me for half a year and still no reaching out. So that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Anyways, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but obviously, the longer that goes on, then the less likely something else is good to happen. Anyways, the lady who answered the door, my brother's wife, was very kind about it. She handled it very well. She was just good in hearing me out, so I definitely appreciate that. Anyways, processing. Gonna head back to the airport, get something to eat. But yikes, this complicates things, because my dad actually passed away, and two, my siblings, they actually know about me. So yeah, that's both good and bad. So hey guys, like that sign right behind me, let's stop it there.